Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're joining me today in this live lecture from Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University. Today's date is Eke Market Day in the 11th month of the Igbo lunar calendar called Onwa Ajana. And in the Roman Catholic calendar, today's date is December 28, 2024. I remember at Nkolo Mahadum, we always encourage you to use your naturally given common sense, which we call akonuche in Igbo language. And we have also reiterated at this university, Wisdom University, that if other countries uses their government, uses their media, their schools, their churches to package and give you information to benefit them, the same way Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University will also package and present lectures to you from Biafran and African perspectives. That is how it concerns you, how you should be seeing things, so that you don't see things from another culture's perspective, because everyone is trying to defend their own. And that's why we are advise you and have been advising you to join us on YouTube, also subscribe on our YouTube channel, also comment, like our lectures, and then share. Invite all your family members and your friends to join Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University and to go back to all our lectures and listen to them, because all the lectures we are packaging for you is meant for you, is to benefit you and me, is to benefit the Africans and the Biafran people. And the title of today's lecture is Igbo apprenticeship. Igbo apprenticeship and other business models should be kept, encouraged, and innovated upon, because it has lifted many out of poverty by creating a lot of millionaires and billionaires in our land. The title of today's lecture is that the Igbo apprenticeship system, which we usually call Imuolu, or Igba boy, or Idu Nwuzu, or Imuolu aka, and other business models should be kept, encouraged, innovated upon, because it has lifted many of us, both home and abroad, out of poverty and created many millionaires and billionaires amongst our people. And the Igbo apprenticeship system, that is Igba boy or Idu Nwuzu or Imuolu, is more than the European PhD, the European educational system PhD, the one they call doctor. It's more than that, because the European PhD or doctor only allows you to specialize in one area, while the Igbo apprentice system gives you access to so many things, to so many skills, and therefore is better than the colonial or Western European PhD or doctorate degree. And you can see from the results it has produced for our people. And how does the Igbo apprenticeship system, that is Igba boy, how does it work? In that system, you have whom you call the Oga, that is the boss, which is the owner of the business, as the head. He is the head of that educational system. And then the head, the Oga or the boss, will now have one or more learners with him to learn that trade or that skill. And usually an agreement is signed where the learner will stay for about 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, depending on the agreement. And what are the functions of the Oga, of the teacher, of the boss? The function of the Oga or the boss is that he is the teacher, he is the director, the mentor, and the financier of the whole process. The function of the Oga is that he is the one that teaches, he is the one that moderates, and therefore he is the director, the mentor, and the financier of that whole system. And then what does he teach? He teaches his students the art of negotiation, how to negotiate business negotiations and other negotiations, both business and family negotiations, customer service, financial management, accounting, time management, and others. Then you have two types of apprenticeship. Number one is the one they call buying and selling, where the business only buys and sells goods. It can be buying and selling of clothes, buying and selling of vehicles, buying and selling of anything sellable, just buying and selling. You buy, you sell. The second part of it is the handwork, department. In the handwork, that one includes like learning how to be a mechanical engineer, a welding engineer, electrical engineer, plumbing engineer, fashion designer, and others. So it has different areas. The Igbo apprentice system has different areas. And what has been the result? The result has been development of centers of entrepreneurship. So many areas of entrepreneurship have been developed. One example of that is the one we call Mbuka today. When you go to Mbuka, which Nkola Mahadum calls melting pots, we call it melting pots at Nkola Mahadum because it has produced a lot of mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, electronic engineers, and others. Other results from the Igbo apprenticeship system, which is Igba Boy, includes millions of middle class. A lot of millions of middle class people have been produced by way of that Igbo apprenticeship system of Igba Boy. And thousands of millionaires in addition to hundreds of billionaires and so many others. And remember, the Igbo apprentice system was recently adopted by Harvard University. And one great industrialist everybody know, Dr. Cosmos Maduka, is also a beneficiary of this Igbo apprenticeship system. And so we have to keep it. We have to encourage it. We have to protect it. We have to innovate on it because it has delivered for our people. It is our own. Even if Harvard have adopted it in their program in order to maybe rebrand it and bring it back as a different product, this is our own. We have to keep it. We have to maintain it. We have to advertise it. We don't have to let it go. It is our pride. It is the Igbo man's pride that the Igbo apprenticeship system, the world knows, is an incubator of wealth. And so, Nkoloma Mahadum is encouraging all of us not to allow the Igbo apprenticeship system, which is Igba boy, or Idu boy, or Idu Nwuzu, to die, just like they want our Igbo language to die. We should not allow it. Other Igbo business models which should be kept sustained, nourished, and innovated on includes the Igbo system of business ownership. The Igbo system of business ownership, which encourages individuals and families to own businesses, is far better than the one they are teaching us in school, the small and medium and large scale production. In terms of wealth distribution, the Igbo business model of single or family ownership businesses distributes wealth across the board better than the one that they taught us in school, which is the small, medium, and large scale production. The one they are saying that is good for larger industries. We produce items cheaper than the others. Yes, that could produce items cheaper, but in terms of wealth distribution, it doesn't distribute wealth across the board better than the Igbo business model of individual or family business ownership. Also, the small, medium, and large scale production that they taught us, the colonialists taught us in school, is a colonial idea that will keep the colonizers, because the machines, the big industries are owned by them. It will keep them as producers of finished goods, while we Africans will be producers of raw materials. We don't want that. So the world should also embrace the Igbo business model of individual and family ownership. Another business model of the Igbo, which should be emulated, is that the Igbo brought science into the markets. You know that the trading is an art, but now the Igbos have brought science into the markets, into trading, because of that introduction, they now have predictable positive results in their business transactions. And finally, markets are organized in such a manner that both the big and small traders make money. The Igbos organize their markets in such a way that the big businesses in that market and the small ones, everybody makes money. That also should be kept, protected, innovated upon, and be proud of them all. And because we want to be keeping things short at Nkoloma Mahadum Wisdom University, like we already promised you, the takeaway But before we get to the takeaway, I have to also advise you again to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Tag all your friends and family members. Go to our previous lectures, because everything we are lecturing you is for you and me, is to keep us relevant in the world. And finally, the takeaway from today's lecture, which is titled, "The Igbo Apprenticeship and Other Business Models Should Be Kept, Encouraged, and Innovated Upon," because it has produced so many millionaires and billionaires in our land. And the Igbo apprenticeship system is even better than the PhD or doctorate degree being conferred on people by colonial universities, by Western universities, because in the colonial PhD, they make you specialize in only one area. But in the Igbo apprenticeship system, you are equipped with so many skills that will make you very, very successful, even more than the colonial PhD holder. And in that system, the oga or the boss or the business owner is the one that is in charge of that training and having one or more learners or students with him for an agreed number of years, which could range from 3 years to 10 years. And what are the functions of the oga, of the boss? The function is to teach the art of negotiation, customer service, financial management, accounting, time management, family management, because when the student is there, the student can be seeing how the oga is also resolving some of the family issues coming to him. And in some cases, the students live with the master in their house or in their apartment. So the student also learns how to manage some of the family issues that could be arising when he or she gets free. Two types of apprenticeship: the one that is only on buying and selling, and the one that is handwork based, skill handwork based, like mechanic, welding, electrical, plumbing, and so on and so forth. What are the results? The result of the Igbo entrepreneurship is that it has developed what we call entrepreneurial centers, like Mbuka. If you go to Mbuka, you see a lot of mechanical engineers, you see a lot of electrical engineers, electronic engineers, and so many other engineers in that Mbuka, plus all the millions of middle class, all the thousands of millionaires, and hundreds of billionaires that the Igbo apprentice system have produced. And Harvard University have now approved the Igbo entrepreneurship program, apprenticeship system in their school, and they will rebrand it and bring it back to us to start to buy, to learn. Also, Dr. Cosmos Maduka, who was a beneficiary of that program, is also a billionaire today, an industrialist, Koskaris. Other Igbo business models includes the Igbo system of business ownership. Single and family ownership of businesses is better than the small, medium, and large-scale production as being taught in many of our schools, because it distributes wealth. It redistributes wealth better than the small, large, and the small the small, medium, and large scale production as taught in some of the schools. Also, Igbos brought science into markets with predictable positive results. And markets are organized in such a way that both the big businesses and the small businesses, all of them make money. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. Thank you for joining us today, and have a good day.